Excellent. So I have started the recording. Very excited to jump in, drop in, rise up with you, Sifu, Michael Mangaroo, my teacher, our guide in the 3 Treasures Tulum Tai Chi experience that we have coming up, who, been learning for now, what is it? Almost 6 months, if not a little bit more.
Sure.
And this has been in the works for at least a year, almost 2 years. So I'm really excited to just ask a couple of questions to allow everyone to get to know you and kind of dive into why, and what and the who and the how of this upcoming fantastic and soon to be continuous journey into Tai Chi and the internal martial arts. So would like to hand it to you just to, share a little bit about yourself, the lineage, and I'll have some questions for you after that.
Awesome, awesome. So, hello there. My name is Sifu. The title Sifu. Traditionally, it's two parts: Si and Fu, father teacher. Um, uh, Sifu Michael Mangaroo is my birthright name. Um, I currently live in Palm Coast, Florida. Palm Coast is the town directly center between St. Augustine and Daytona Beach, if those names sound familiar. I am a martial artist. I practiced a couple different types of martial arts, so Tai Chi and Wing Chun, and I also do some Filipino Kali. I've had experience with karate and kung fu and jujitsu in the past, but for this time in my life, as I age, this year I'm actually turning 50. So at this point in my life, the gentler movements, using less physical exertion and more internally, more spiritual, is my approach for martial arts. Okay, so thank you for having me, Ezriyah, and for being a faithful student. I'm very excited about this first Tai Chi Immersion workshop coming up April 11th through the 14th. We've got some superb, uh, you know, um, things in store for the attendees, and just in general, in a basic gist of how this is all going to go. We arrive on the 11th. Um, Classes start the following morning. So the morning classes will be entry level into Qigong, and in the Qigong we will introduce the 8 sections of brocade, a very old um, um, series of exercises that are very beneficial for the body, and we will also do some meditation, and we'll go into it when I get there. Then we'll have a second class the midday, which will be the entry into Tai Chi.
Mm.
Uh, and then the third class in the evening will be a further um, expression of the second class, where we'll get into push hands and martial applications. But
Excellent.
this is a beginner level, as this is our first experience doing this, and I hope we have a great turnout. There's limited seating, but we hope to fill all the seats as quickly as possible. Um, and we have some also special classes that we're going to do. I think we mentioned the sound bath, which I'm really excited about. I've actually never done a sound healing bath.
You're gonna love it. Yeah,
So,
I'm really excited for you to experience it, especially for the people who I have lined up. You
yeah,
know, they
yeah,
love to give. We have a great working relationship as well,
yeah,
and so it's been just nothing but a really beautiful. It's going to be unique too. So this isn't a typical sound bath. This is going
yeah.
to be more of a local experience,
Cool, cool.
but powerful nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive, being a very proficient musician. I've been a performing musician since age 11. I still perform. I've been practicing since I was 6. So, I am very proficient in music and very sensitive to vibrations. So I'm excited about that. And also, I think the final day, we were going to to do a little Filipino Kali. So I've got some entry level templates with some applications, and of course, I am a Wing Chun guy, so Wing
Yeah.
Chun goes hand in hand with Tai Chi and the Kali. So that I'm not certified to teach it yet, as I am a C Heng in my at my level, but that's the idea, is to become certified soon, but it naturally comes out of me. So
I'm really excited about this. I got just a couple questions maybe to ask about, the journey to give some of the people who may be interested in coming. I think the first question is, if you're open to it, this term internal martial arts. Now, I've spoken to some of the guys who are practicing some of the other fighting forms here in Tulum, those guys involved in MMA and boxing, as well as Muay Thai, which is very popular right now. And of course, we love and respect it. Even some of the gentlemen in karate
yeah,
here. And I practiced as well. I'm actually a red and black belt in Taekwondo, but as a young person. So it's like a long time ago.
yeah.
The term internal martial arts, I feel like, and also the idea of people practicing Tai Chi, what comes to mind so often is an older guy and women floating, doing these beautiful hand movements. But I don't feel like people have put their hands or minds into the applications of longevity and also how that could actually be integrated into their current martial arts and support them. So I'd love for you to speak to what is internal martial arts and the application, if you would.
So that's a great question, and it's something that is a bit of has a bit of a mystical idea to it. So I want to demystify that. Okay, I
Please,
like
let's justify it.
very simple. Um, so we have categories for martial arts. So we have our internal styles, we have our external styles, and then we have our internal external styles.
So
Okay.
internal, external.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, and it doesn't have to it has nothing to do with its origin, whether it came from Japan or China or Korea or India, which India has some of the earliest forms of martial arts recorded. Um, it has nothing to do with that. You can actually take MMA or Thai boxing, jujitsu, and make it internal. So
Oh,
internal, what does that mean? Internal meaning we're cultivating chi, we're cultivating internal qualities, spiritual, mental, and energetically, so that it can be expressed externally through our body. So in karate, it's more of an external hard style. So anything that is hard is considered external. Doing
right.
throwing a
Yeah.
like that,
Or
these are hard styles.
mhm.
Whereas when we use less of our body, and more of the mind, and to do movement, I like to say movement, um, then it's generated from the dantian. Okay. So the dantian is the seat of power, but there's actually three different dantians. Okay, but I'm talking about the lower one, which
Mhm.
is spirit. Okay. So external meaning external force to achieve your goal. Internal meaning generated from the cultivation of chi that you've developed, and coupled with the with structure. And that is an important term that we're going to talk about in this class.
Structure. Yeah.
Structure. What does that mean? That means positioning, uh,
Mm.
positioning of the body, getting into the right position at the right time. And even if your timing is wrong, changing your position to become more favorable. So external, internal, can people will have the mistake of saying it's yin or yang. That's not correct.
Not correct. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's not correct because internal can be both yin and yang.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
a matter
So
of clarity.
in basic, external means outer force. I'm using crunch, crunch, and then internal meaning we're we're doing it from our the development of our chi. At some point in martial application, there you gotta have some external, but believe it or not, honestly, even internal in application has external. So
Right.
there's
The one
there's
thing.
the marrying of it, but the ultimate goal is not to even be able to touch someone. Just do it with your spirit. Take your
Around,
take your spirit and move their aura.
can
And
I ask then, so with this practice, then it seems like it's something that could be open to people of all ages. I put from 18 on up, just because I also want some maturity in the class. But what is the youngest that maybe you've seen someone
you
begin to
know,
practice?
in China, they start you at 4, 5 years old,
Amazing. Yeah.
and 9% of these people practice Tai Chi every day. You can go to China and see this in person.
That's remarkable.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the problem with Tai Chi is because it's seen for its slow motion, slow movements. Children may get bored with that.
So the maturity is important.
So maturity is important, but here's the deal. Um, Tai Chi is comes from the Shaolin arts. Okay, those practitioners who developed Tai Chi were highly skilled martial artists. They were bodyguards, they were temple guards, they were in authority under the emperor. So their skills were explosive and fast.
Right.
Okay, so Tai Chi is is to be it can be done fast. Okay, so this is something we'll get into. Also, we'll have 3 speeds to practice Tai Chi.
Excellent.
So
Oh,
why do we practice Tai Chi slow?
please.
Because we are developing, say for instance, wave hands like clouds.
Mhm.
Well, okay, oh my positioning. Oh, I'm slouching here. Oh, rounded chest. Oh, my elbow's not in the right position. Oh, I have a limp hand. Oh, my foot is not in. You have time to audit yourself when it's done slow.
Yeah. Epic.
Whereas if you're going fast, you
Yeah.
have less time for auditing.
You
So
know what comes to mind with this then as you say it like that? And I was, I'm still practicing surf technique as well. And I see that I'm really seeing correlation between the two as I go out. And one of an instructor I know from Australia says, perfect practice makes perfect, but perfect practice is what really makes perfect. Imperfect practice. And so like really, you know, taking that opportunity to do just what you said, having those moments to audit. And,
yeah,
and I see the application. So I think the next question I would have for you along those lines is, what other character qualities do you feel this martial arts would help men, women, because this will be a co-ed experience to cultivate within themselves for the long haul?
great question. One of the things is this is no compete.
Ah, okay. Excellent.
We're here to help each other, so violence is not accepted.
Okay.
Um, an aggressive nature, violent spirit is totally contrary to a Tai Chi practitioner. The whole
Wow.
is to release all of that and to be calm and focused in nature, respectful. Respect is huge as a practitioner. Martial artists are not to go out and hurt others or to seek to hurt others. Oh, I'm gonna hurt him and hurt him bad. No, that's just wicked. That's
Right.
evil. If
Yeah.
anything, it is meant to help the needy, help those who are in a dire situation that you may see something that is going wrong, and to protect ourselves. Tai
Okay.
Chi and internal martial arts also builds our character because we are self-reflecting And because we work with other brothers and sisters, we have to constantly look inward and say, hey, I'm touching hands with this individual. Am I giving off a negative energy or negative aura? I want always look to help, always look to seek to help. So when we do pushing hands, and one of the evening classes, we'll be working with that. There's no aggression. We're slow. We get into a position, and if say we're in a position of error, we stop,
Mhm.
freeze. Let's take a look at that. What's wrong here? How can we fix that? And we help each other. Hey man, do this, maybe do this and try. Oh, okay. So so that in that way we're learning. We all become teachers. And
Epic.
we learn from each other. And there's a saying that that is well known as a protect practitioner, and that is this: it is in the hand. We
It
all
is in-
we It's in the hand. We can tell by the hand. So
wow.
I have belt systems. No, I do that purposely because I don't want any compete. People can come dressed comfortably. There's no uniforms. There's no rules in that sense. Just be respectful. And as soon as you touch, then you'll know. Okay.
So it sounds like this is a great opportunity to come into a space that's safe, that ego isn't there. Everyone's going to have their egos, but we're already making an agreement to kind of slow that down.
Yeah.
And then it's welcoming. And then also, what I feel and what I'll also share with people is the integrative nature of this. Not
Mm.
just that it's building integrity, but how this can be integrated to even help people who are integrating their journeys with medicine to really
Yeah.
get back into their body. And we have a lot of folks here and I also hold space for people navigating anger release. And so
Yes.
it's like this is a great way to tune into your body and to begin to learn how to move and tap into your own internal energy and transmute certain things.
I tell you this.
Better. Yeah,
That's right. I tell you this. Many football players benefit from practicing Tai Chi.
excellent.
Why is that? Because they're used to acting like a semi. They're
Yeah. I
coming in,
remember I used to play
they're
football.
just bulldozing, and that's all they do. But what happens when we are not taking that approach, and we are relaxing? Then we are more aware of our structure, and we're actually become faster and more faster reaction time. So that's why I'm doing the Qigong first, because that's foundational for Tai Chi, because we have to be able to get into a certain mindset, and we have to be able to release the tension in our body. Okay.
Amazing.
So now these classes, they're going to go 2 to 3 hours of class.
Sure. Yeah, and I really love that. I mean, it is an immersion, so I'm excited. I would love to also just inquire about your journey with this. Like, how did you get into it? Can you share a little bit about the lineage? Is I'm starting to see that's a thing where people say, "Oh, I teach of this lineage," and they ask me, "Oh, what is he practicing?" So maybe that would be helpful for some people to know.
Yeah, lineage is important because it gives people who are seeking some sense of legitimacy.
Mm.
You learned, how long did you learn with that? Or, and then you can trace it back. So, this is the issue with someone who's just developing a brand new style.
Mm.
It's like, okay, I learned from 10, 15, 20 different instructors.
Wow,
Okay. So which one are you devout to? So there's something to be said about devotion too.
sure. I love that word, by the way. It's something that's important to me.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I started in the martial arts. My parents met in the martial arts school.
Wow.
My uncles were tournament fighters, so I would go and watch them fight when I was a very young kid, and they would teach me in their garage in karate. Didn't know anything about Chinese uh, internal martial arts at the time. It was just I just wanted to punch and kick, and
That's
uh, but I had several of my uncles practice different arts, karate, judo, and then Bagua and Xingyi and Tai Chi, which are the three main internal arts.
Wow.
And he introduced me to some Bagua and some Tai Chi, and then it was a whole nother level, a whole nother uh, ball game for me. So it sparked my interest. So I was doing in my early 20s Kung Fu, praying mantis Kung Fu. And then it was there that I was introduced in the northern praying mantis Walam Tam Tui lineage under Master Pui Chan out of Orlando. I was learning from Sifu Wai Chi Lo in Melbourne, Florida, who introduced me to Tai Chi. Um, I ended up leaving that school for various reasons. Nothing against the school, just money and things like that. Uh, Transitioning in my life, moved away, and I started to train privately in the Walam Temple, the actual temple. You know, it's the only temple that is traditionally made after a real temple in China in the United States.
I'm That's so cool. Only because, and also to just know that these things existed in Florida. All that they had was Shotokan when I
Yeah.
first, to Palm Coast, and I wasn't really turned on by that, and so I ended
Uh,
up getting into sports. But Kung Fu it sounds amazing. So I'm
and
still, yeah,
still alive and well. You can find Wallum, WH, on YouTube, Facebook, online, on their website. Master Pui Chan is amazing. Different spirit. He's very alive and explosive. But
yeah.
I learned Tai Chi, Chen Tai Chi, privately from his wife, Simu,
Wow.
who was a Chinese Jamaican.
So Simu is for women? Is that
For women, that's Sifu's wife,
okay? Gotcha.
Simu.
Mm,
So I learned privately from her.
mm,
Um, at the time many years ago, it was $50 an hour, uh,
mm,
the lessons.
yeah.
After that, I went to train with Master Chan's inner door student. So that's the term you'll hear here. It's a private, student that gets passed special knowledge to.
Oh,
Traditionally, Master Frank Paolillo out of Ponte Vedra, Florida. I learned Bagua from him and started to learn Chen Tai Chi also from him. He moved away to North Carolina. So then I was on the search and I just kind of dabbled here or there with the Filipino Kali and then the Wing Chun. At one point I was paying $200 an hour for this specialized instruction, all private instruction. And then I found my instructor, Master Andy Townsend, here in Palm Coast, Florida. And the way that I found him was his wife was driving down the interstate, and I ended up passing by, or she ended up passing by me, and I saw the little magnet on her car door. And I said, "Man, what is that? Tai Chi." So I sped up and I looked at the number and I just memorized it in my head.
wow, right on.
I got to a stop, I wrote it down. So I ended up calling and I ended up beginning my journey with Master Andy, and he was actually my fourth Tai Chi instructor, I believe, but he's
Mm,
the one that I've been certified under. So Master Andy is a 50-year practitioner and even longer in transcendental meditation. He started out with Aikido, moved on later on to Tai Chi. But his teacher, he had an instructor in Hawaii when he lived in Hawaii. I don't remember his name again. Sorry, but then out of California, Dr. Jesse Sao with Tai Chi Healthways. He is a wealth, a true master, a wealth of knowledge. I am actually certified as an instructor under a Grandmaster Doctor and Dr. Jesse Sao,
amazing.
and I still train with my Sifu. And he's actually has helped me to put together this program and give me some direction on what to teach. Um, I also, from a different lineage, am training in Wing Chun, Ip Man Wing Chun, in the Liang Sheng lineage. Liang Sheng was was actually Ip Man's primary student. Ip Man did not teach a lot. Only in
Wow.
younger days he teach. Traditionally, as he got older, he would sit at his stools, smoke his pipe, and the students, the older students, would teach the newer students. So Bruce Lee actually did not really learn from Ip Man. He actually
Wow.
learned from one of the students, but Ip Man was there overseeing it.
Obviously, well-known, unwell-known fact. Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of truth. Yeah, Bruce Lee. I don't know if he's even ever touched hands with Ip Man, but
Wow.
Man was there because Ip Man was older at the time, and Ip Man asked Long Sheng to. There was a three main students that he had, introduced
Yeah.
to carry on and teach after he was gone. So I am learning under Sifu Adam Willis here in Palm Coast, Florida. He's been. I actually learned from his Wing Chun brother for a while in Jacksonville until he moved away. And I actually saw him recently at a huge seminar, a unification of the Ip Man. There's China, and they did a big unification ceremony where Master Ben Dare came.
Wow.
Took it as an opportunity, and I've got some video footage. I was able to touch hands with Master Bender and his son, and they were absolutely wonderful. Their nature was so kind, so
Mhm.
gentle, but powerful. They just knew exactly enough to give you for you to work on and encourage you, but it was in a way that was not violent. You know, I've encountered a lot of teachers and they just try to intimidate you. It's their nature. They just want to, and that doesn't work for everyone.
No, I can imagine.
Doesn't
So
work.
let
Mhm.
so thank you for sharing about the lineage. I'm very excited.
Yep.
And I think, that definitely should answer the questions for any people who are curious about, okay, who's this amazing man who's going to come and offer this gathering with us here? I'm curious, what are your thoughts on, like, for beginners? I love doing things for beginners. I love beginners' mindset. What what are some things that you would want them to know in coming into the class? And mind you, you've already spoken to that they can come dressed comfortably, that
Right.
there's a belt system.
Yeah.
So what could they expect to leave this experience with?
Yeah. So as a beginner, first of all, the dress code, we want to be respectful. We don't want to, especially women. Women and men are allowed, but we don't. Men or women doesn't matter. We don't want to be super revealing whenever you with our clothing. So it's about respect.
Yeah.
Uh, and we want to be clothed. But the things that I can say, yep,
Yeah.
is empty your cup. Empty.
Mm.
Um, so whether you have, if you're a beginner in Tai Chi,
Mhm.
empty your cup. If you have no martial arts experience, empty your cup. If you
Okay.
have martial arts experience in even if it's boxing, fencing, MMA, jujitsu, Muay Thai, empty your cup. What does that mean? That doesn't mean throw away everything that you've learned. I would not ask anyone to do that because it's all useful, but have an open mind because the Tai Chi concepts will change the way that you're practicing those arts
Yeah.
in a way where you become more internal, more efficient. So the whole idea is efficiency. So as a beginner, come expecting to learn, come eager, be patient. You're going to need to practice. I also will encourage people to bring a notepad and they can use their phones and videotape me. I'm okay with that. so that they can reference. But at the classes, I will take down emails and things, and I'll be able to send out videos anyway from my Sifu or his wife that he has available that people can learn and practice along with. Front and back views, by the way.
Amazing. Thank you. That's going to be fantastic. So the people coming will also get some training assets. And what I've been thinking about is like looking at the current world scope, what's going on in these times. Even living here in Tulum, a lot of what I help people to do is be more stable within themselves, to be able to handle and to move through what's being presented to them, because there's a lot of ways that people, they internalize, which is fair, so much of what's going on, but not in a way that's beneficial for them. And so I feel like this can help with some emotional resilience and clarity. What do you feel about that? Are there some other ways that you can really say, look, during these times, the practice of Tai Chi will benefit you to be able to handle things in a more profound way?
Tai Chi is not a cure-all. I will
Right.
say that. But Tai Chi is a tool that you can use. I mean, swimming may be your tool. I mean, surfing may be your tool. Maybe you like to woodwork or sew, or you're a musician, or cook, or whatever. It's a way to relieve stress. What's nice about Tai Chi is, and my battery is getting low here, so we'll wrap it up soon, okay? What's nice about Tai Chi is that it's whole entire body movement, spirit,
Okay.
mind, and body. So you're taking the all of that together and focusing it in one moment.
One moment.
Yeah. So this has amazing health benefits, relieving stress, and then working on your balance, the martial applications, focusing the mind, dealing with opposition, self-esteem, losing weight, becoming more limber, all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Well, I'm really excited to have you here, and also to get to open up that space. What I'm focused on at this time in my life is, that thing called self-mastery. And so I'm hosting men's groups. I'm navigating and interacting with women as a student, but also creating spaces where that can be, shared, and where we can come into a different vibration with each other and open up to stepping forward. And I really feel like this is going to be of benefit to a lot of people, those who are called to come and to enjoy and to grow as a family, earth family together, and to learn, this beautiful practice which you've made available to us. So I just want to thank you.
You're welcome. I'm very excited about it, and we're tickets are booked. We're coming.
Yeah, we're coming. So I'm excited as well. I know battery's going down. Are there any final words that you'd like to share for?
Hey, if you haven't signed up, sign up now. Don't miss this opportunity. You won't regret it.
Excellent. I'll be sure to put the link on here and also share this to YouTube, and also share your YouTube as well, so they can get to know you more. And
Awesome.
then just stay tuned. We'll share more, Sifu and myself, and we'll be on Instagram doing some lives in times to come. And I just wish all of you who've taken the time to sit with us the best day. If you're interested, come down to Tulum the weekend of April 11th through the 14th. Really, I think to, connect on the 12th and 13th, and maybe possibly the 14th, just to say goodbye and wish our Sifu off, and
Okay.
then henceforth. And we'll likely have some online experiences until the next one. But get in there where you fit in, giving thanks. Aloha.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. See
Bye.
you. Okay. Bye now.